All right, so I got 2 cold opens for you.
Okay.
I'll let y'all pick. Large family with kayaks, or the time I got fired for serving jury duty.
Serving jury duty.
Jury duty work, Phil?
Jury duty is
Okay. So, like, a couple of years ago, like, when I first got out of college, I worked for this tax place. Mm-hmm. And essentially their whole job was if you didn't pay your taxes in the state of Virginia, they were the law firm that came and got the money from you. And, like, represented the state. Uh-huh. So it was actually a really bad job for me personally. Like, when I got hired on, they told me the last 4 people were so awful and they were trash talking their former employees, which should have been like a red flag of this was not going to go well for me. When I meet my 2, like, co-workers for this little closet they have us in, neither one of them wanted to talk to me. They had no interest in, like, training me whatsoever. And I was told by the boss to update the training book as I went. I'm like, but I don't know what I'm doing is correct. So, all right, sounds good.
Sure.
And this was when I was a temp, so it's like one of those things where they could just fire me at any moment. Yeah. So I was like, whatever. So I get served jury duty. And they've been trying to get me to do jury duty for 3 times when I was in college. Mm-hmm. But every time I'm like, I'm in college, I can't come. So this time they forced me to do it. The state's like, we got you. We got this guy. So I'm at my job. I tell them about jury duty. They're not happy about it, but legally they can't do anything about it to keep me from going to jury duty. Because legally I can get, like, served papers and arrested for not going to jury duty, right? Yeah. Okay. So night before, I get sick. Like, really sick. Like, I'm throwing up blood.
Oh, Jesus.
This is how sick I am.
Oh, my God.
So I go to the hospital.
Near death.
Yeah.
No, apparently not. Okay. Long story short, apparently that's normal somehow.
What?
I didn't question the doctor.
I would think you're possessed or something.
It was kind of like, it wasn't a patient first, but it was like a small kind of like hospital location. Instead of going to a hospital, it's run by a hospital.
It's like an urgent care.
Kind of like an urgent care in a hospital, but it's a detached location where I went to. I guess I would just tell that story because I went in there. I'm like, hey, I'm throwing up blood. They're like, all right, fill out this form and sit down. I'm like, did y'all not hear the first part where I'm throwing up blood? Yeah. It wasn't like it was a small amount. It was a lot.
Yeah, like...
And I was living with my parents and my fiance at the time, and, like, she's taking me to the hospital. My parents are like, yeah, you should go. They're not going to drive me. They're trying to sleep. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning. Oh, my God. So I get there. I fill out the forms. Like, I'm really not feeling good. I'm extremely nauseous.
You'll be lightweight, too, right?
Yeah, I was, like, puking a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty empty. I get there. They finally see me. They stick an IV in my arm. And as they stick the IV in my arm, I look over and my blood's coming out of the IV and pushing the IV backwards. So apparently my blood pressure was just through the roof.
Oh, my God.
I asked the doctor, I'm like, should my blood be inside of me or outside right now? He's like, it's not an issue. I'm like, everything this guy says is it's not an issue. So eventually they give me some anti-nausea medicine, which actually works. I stop puking. They tell me essentially, you were throwing up so hard that you just tore your esophagus a little bit and cut it, and that's normal. And I was like, I don't feel like that's normal, but okay. They're like, you have some sort of flu or something. Don't go near anybody. This was before the pandemic, obviously. Yeah. And get some rest. I'm like, well, can I get a doctor or something? I'm supposed to do jury duty tomorrow. And they're like, we don't know what the protocol is for that, but we'll write you one. So they discharged me, like, begrudgingly. Like, they didn't want to let me go, but they let me go, like, at 8 in the morning. I go to the courthouse. I'm barely dressed. I have, like, the wristlet on that says I was in the hospital. I get there to the jury duty room, like, hey, I'm really sick. I've been throwing up blood all night. Can I get out of this? I have a doctor's note. And the woman's like, the only person that can dismiss you is the judge. I'm like, what? So they were doing, like, they were trying to decide for a case. I forget what the case was. It was some lawsuit that sounded dumb. And it was like, the whole idea is we had, like, the person pled guilty and we had to determine the damages. And they were going to argue that. So we get there and they're, like, asking questions. And I'm like, okay, I'm sick. Where's the question, like, does anyone have a previous occupation? And eventually they get to, like, question 2 and they're asking, and they haven't gotten there. I just raised my hand. Because they're asking, does anybody have any obligation? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, I've been in the hospital all night throwing up blood. Here's the risk list. I really need to get back to the hospital.
You should have stayed like
the judge is like, didn't you give the woman a doctor's note or something? I'm like, I did. She told me I couldn't leave. And he's like, you've been throwing up blood. And he's like, but all of them are, everybody in this jury is like getting more and more serious looking at me. I'm like, I've been puking blood. And the woman next to me kind of goes like this, like moves away. Obviously, because you don't want whatever is making someone throw up blood.
That's right.
And the judge is like, do we need him? They go to both the lawyers. The lawyer's like, no, dismiss him now. So I leave. I'm cleared of jury duty now, so I don't have to serve that bonus. So if you want to get out of jury duty, tell them you've been throwing up blood. They'll let you go immediately.
And save a hospital bracelet.
Yeah.
Save a hospital
But
bracelet.
like Nick said, though, you got to go in the gown.
Yeah, you should have came in the gown.
I should have came in the gown. But like, yeah, I literally got discharged. No, I had my family bring me some clothes because like I don't think they're gonna let me into a courthouse in a gown with like no underwear on.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, are you supposed to take your underwear off for the gown? Because they made me take it off,
so.
And it felt a little weird at the time. Like it was unrelated. Like, why do I have to take my pants off?
Yeah.
I mean, so anyway, I tell like the temp agency, hey, I'm sick. I had jury duty. They dismissed me, but I need another day or two because I've been puking blood. That's fine. They say, take your time, go back. So I go back that Thursday. I finally feel better. I tell them, hey, I was throwing up blood and I had to go into jury to tell them this story. Anyway, the woman comes to me during my lunch, the boss, dismisses the other two, and she's like, hey, how you think this is going? How you feeling? I'm like, it's good. I had to do jury duty, and I was like, she's like, this is not going to work out. You're fired. You were clearly lying. And I was like, I'm not lying.
Are you serious?
What?
Yeah, straight up fired me.
Wow.
At the moment, she's like, I'll call a temp agency. I was like, I could do that. And like, as soon as I get out the door, a temp agency calls me up all angry and like, what's going on? They said you were a bad employee and made up all these lies about me. I'm like, dude, nah, I'm good. I was sick. Y'all had the record, and they fired me for it.
Did you still have your doctor's note?
Yeah, I had the doctor's note. Yeah,
And they still did.
I didn't even get the doctor's note out. She would not have it. Wouldn't hear it. I'm like, I have it. But no, it was an awful place to work in. Everybody there was pretty miserable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the time I got fired for going to jury.
Sounds like it was a blessing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like working there.
Yeah.
I made it like all of a month or two, and I was like, this is awful, and I should start looking for something else.
Yeah.
You're a true patriot, though.
Yeah.
Really sped up the process, if I'm being honest.
You seem like you took it really well, too. Like, okay.
Like, yeah, cool. See ya.
Yeah. That is true patriotism, though. You are an ideal citizen.
I'm the ideal juror.
You went to serve your country as a peer in a case on basically your deathbed.
Essentially, if they had not told me that I could get jail time for not showing up to jury duty, I probably would not bother. Like, there was a deterrent there.
Yeah.
A very strong legal deterrent. And the funny part is I never went back to the hospital. I was just like, yeah, I stopped throwing up. I'm probably fine.
Really?
So you were just, so what happened after that?
I had some weird stomach bug that just, like, probably like a 24-hour flu that made me vomit. But again, because I was throwing up.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like throwing up so hard it cut my esophagus, and then I guess my blood pressure went up because of whatever I was doing.
Yikes.
They didn't seem that concerned, so I wasn't that concerned.
I don't know how they're not concerned when you stab somebody for an IV and it's just all of a sudden, it's
The blood literally went into the IV. I was like, I don't think I'm getting any of these fluids, dude.
The bag is just straight red.
Yeah.
Well, it was weird because, like, the line, you know how long those lines are? Like, at the halfway mark, you could see where it was clear, and then halfway there's just blood. And I'm like, well, I'm not that powerful of a blood pressure to refill this bag.
Yeah. So how long ago was this?
This would have been 16, 17, maybe 2016, 17.
Okay. Have you gone back for jury duty since?
No, they haven't called me since. I guess they marked me down as don't call this dude.
Crazy guy.
I still have not to this day been called for jury duty.
That's a blessing.
Jury duty, yeah. I am like psyched for the day that I get a jury duty. What is it? A summons? Is that
Yeah.
a summons?
They paid me for the day too. They pay you to show up. They like sent me a check in the mail for $45.
That's awesome.
For serving jury duty. I'm like, I didn't really serve, but cool.
It was just like sympathy money.
Yeah.
Here's your cash.
That's awesome. I can't wait for that day though that I get that letter, because if there's one thing that I enjoy, it's a Grisham novel. And I've read many of them. And to be able to serve on a jury and just create this drama in my head of what's actually happening. Mm. Or what I think is happening versus what's actually
Why is it
happening.
a drama?
I feel like it would just be like super entertaining, or
I feel like it'd be really mundane.
Letdown.
Yeah, it'd probably be really mundane if I'm being honest with you.
It could be a complete letdown.
Do they pay for your lunch? I've heard that's a rumor.
I didn't get as far as to lunch.
We got an opening statement. Yeah, we got an opening
I couldn't
statement.
really eat. I wasn't really supposed to be there. They're like, you might be contagious. I'm like, cool, I gotta go to jury duty.
In my head, when you were telling that story, I pictured you like going in front, like, you know, where the defense and like sit. I was picturing you just going up, just like raising your hand, be like, Your Honor, I have to go.
Oh, I was in a jury stand. Like, they put you in the courtroom in the jury stand, and I was one of the main ones, and they had to swap me out for an alternate, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because they bring in like 24 to 30 people to try to find 12. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, they were just like, okay, you can leave now.
That would have been awesome if they chose you as the foreman, though.
Oh, yeah.
Your foreman. He's got dedication. We let the cut of his jib.
That's right.
I mean, seriously.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I got fired for going to jury duty and getting sick, and yeah, pay your taxes so you don't have to deal with these people. They were pretty ruthless.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all want to start the show now?
Let's get it started.
Let's go.
It's time to start. How long has it been? 11 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Great story.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, let's start.
I probably almost died. I don't know. But welcome to Punch the Clock, the only podcast that will still serve jury duty when they're sick. I'm your host, Marshall.
And I'm Justin.
And today we're joined with our guest, Nick from IT.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Have you ever been on a podcast before?
I have not. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
This is a very shockingly common answer for most of our guests.
Have you been on before? No. Unless you're a repeat guest.
It's like, yeah, I've been on yours. Stop asking.
Please stop coming to my desk.
Can you stop bothering me? I'm trying to get work done, Marshall. But no, welcome show. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
joining.
And you work in IT famously.
Oh, yes.
Famously work in IT.
Famously.
So does anyone call you Nick from IT? Like, is that like, are you okay with that?
I feel like that's fine. If I go by credit, it's like a jingle for them. Like, if I go by and I fix a problem, they're like, they have like this whole cheer, especially like they'll be like, oh, Nick's back. Let's go. And then like start like clapping and everything. It's very
You're
weird.
a celebrity
Yeah.
on that side.
Apparently I am.
Apparently
Yeah.
they just love you.
Yeah. Other departments, they never see me.
You just refuse to deal with
Yeah.
it.
It's just like, yeah, basically.
You get some good fanfare
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I could say that.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, what percentage of your job would you say can be summed down to just reboot the computer and it'll fix itself?
Classic
That is
question.
a great question.
I need an answer.
Was that a part of your formal training?
Is
Yeah.
that part of formal training?
It's like, yeah, 90% of the problems, I would say, are just rebooting.
So why is that though? Like, why does that solve the, like, is it like you like being like as a person like worked up and tired and then you go take a nap and then you wake up refreshed? Like, is it that same kind of?
I feel like it is. It's like you sometimes like you're right, like say you're working so hard and then you just need a break. And so just a quick 2-second break gives you like a total like brain recharge.
A quick heart attack and a defibrillation, and you'll feel better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's exactly why they do that in the show. It's a little clear, and you're good.
It's like an AED for your PC.
I get it done once a week. I feel great.
Monday mornings. Yeah, Monday mornings.
I get a lot of pain in my chest occasionally.
That's not good.
Normally, I eat a bacon sandwich, and I feel better.
Oh,
On gluten-free bread, so it's nice and safe
you
for
feel
me.
better.
It's healthy.
At least your stomach doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Your
Now,
chest will.
I've been using about half a pound of bacon. I'm thinking about going up to a full pound. Maybe I'm just not getting enough protein.
Hey, that could be it. What do you do with the grease?
Well, the grease is what you use to fry the bread in.
You soak it in the bread.
That's what I use for my grilled cheeses for lunch.
How does gluten-free bread take to bacon grease?
Not well.
Probably just
It's
slides
kind of like a sponge, soaking up everything, and somehow makes it all drier.
Wow.
Gluten-free bread is extremely dry. Have you ever had the consistency of sand in your mouth, but it tasted like bread?
Yes.
like stale bread.
Okay, then you understand gluten-free bread. You have to toast it so it'll hold itself together. It's not good. I don't recommend it. This isn't a choice. Like, I'm not gluten-free by choice.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I feel like I talk about it way too much, though.
You should just leave some in the lunchroom.
Like, I should probably I'll just start walking up to people now in different departments. Be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Marshall from operations. I'm gluten free." Be like a vegan, just telling everybody, "Hey, I'm gluten free." Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, back to what we were doing.
My new identity is gluten-free.
Gluten-free is an identity. I go by the pronouns of gluten-free and bread.
Bread boy.
Yeah.
Hey, bread boy.
But, yeah.
I go by quinoa and rice. Thank you very much.
Put it in your signature to let everybody know.
Hey, I'm gluten-free.
The gluten-free specialist.
If I could just really lord this over people and make them know that I'm better than them because I'm gluten-free.
Did you guys know I'm gluten-free?
Did you know?
You just be like, I can't have this. Like when there's people like have like free food in the lunchroom, just I can't have that.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how much of that happens to me. They'll be like, "Hey, there are donuts in the lunchroom," and I'll be like, "There's no way that I can eat any of those."
Yeah. Marshall had to stay back from an Olive Garden visit 2 weeks ago because basically that's a gluten
Everything
nightmare.
has gluten in it.
They don't have a gluten-free menu?
No, and you know what's on their gluten-free menu? Child's pasta. Not like, oh, it's a gluten-free pasta. It's just a child portion of pasta, and somehow they think that's gluten for gluten-sensitive people. Just eat less of the pasta, Marshall. Yeah. You won't die, Marshall. I'm like, no, that's not how it works, guys. I looked up their soups. Their soups have gluten in it. How did you put gluten in a soup?
What?
I don't know. But I can't eat at Olive Garden whatsoever. So, Olive Garden, I don't respect you.
Well, but
add it to the list.
I will say that you didn't miss out too much that day. Like, the food was just okay.
Olive Garden, even when I ate it, was never good, and I don't understand the hype.
I understand. They have one of those guys. It's a microwave, and they roll out, and that's their head chef.
I mean, that's
Chef
fair enough.
Yeah.
Chef Boy on breadstick or whatever.
That'd be terrible. You go in the back and you see Chef Boyardee cans just all open.
Everyone's just sitting there with can openers, just twisting cans off the lids off the cans.
But yeah, that reminds me. Today's sponsor is Olive Garden. Hey, do you want to eat some breadsticks and pasta that are kind of bad? Olive Garden, they got your back.
Olive Garden, you're not family.
Well, I feel like you are family, just not. It's just an extended family.
If you really were family, they let you stay past closing.
They never do. They tell me to get out. And then they throw breadsticks at me. Yelling, "Run, gluten boy." But Nick, do you have any good IT stories? Like, have you ever, obviously nothing with anybody who's currently working here, but anything that just made you really, your head scratch and be like, how did you screw this up so badly?
There are times, yes, where it's like, somebody complains like, oh, it's running slow. It's like, okay.
They got like 100 tabs open or something.
Oh yeah, they got 100 tabs and they're behind like 20, 30 updates. And it's just like, well, this could be the problem, you know. If you tried applying these, and it's just like, oh, I didn't know they were there. It's just like, what do you mean? It's like, you always got to eventually like patch something up a little bit, you know.
You got to hit the restart button, yo.
Do you shut this down? No, I've never shut it down. It's just like, oh, okay. Or you like, they put in these tickets, right? That the same one. But they, as soon as you like see it, you're like, all right, 3-4 seconds later, you instantly like try to call them back, whatever. They don't answer. Email them, don't respond.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It's just like, why'd you put it in the first place?
Yeah, need help.
Yeah.
Not gonna answer.
I'm busy now.
I got it. No worries.
No.
Yeah, that's funny. I feel like I couldn't handle IT. I would just be like, have you tried turning it on and off again, you idiot? Have you ever shut it down? No. Okay, well, how long can you run without sleep? Like, seriously.
No, that's basically it.
It was really only up until now that I really thought of that analogy, and now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Remember when I was, like, in high school, going for IT, and, like, people make that joke, and it's like, yeah, it's funny. It's like, haha. But then, like, once you actually do it every single day, it's like, oh, no, they were actually 100% serious.
Yeah,
Turn
is
it on and off.
90% IT.
That's crazy.
I would be in there being like, I gotta go reboot your mainframes, and, you know, it's gonna take a while. You might have a virus.
Just scare them to death.
Yeah, so it's like, oh my god.
You have COVID on your computer. I didn't know that was a thing. COVID has now jumped to computers.
It's a bug.
I did have one guy that had like this adware on the bottom of Chrome that said like, oh, you have a virus. So we reach out to him, doesn't answer, and he's the one that put in the ticket. So eventually time goes by and we find that his computer's somehow on. And we're just like, that's weird. We told him to like shut it off, turn off the power and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I thought just by shutting off it for like a couple minutes, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that could like destroy the company if that actually is a thing, you know? Like, why would you put it back on? Like, nobody told you to or anything.
Yeah.
And so we find out that like, oh, it's just adware, but like we were all like petrified because like we had to bring up a security meeting the next day, going over like certain procedures of what you do. So I bring it up in there, and they're all like, all the like head ITs, and they're just staring at me like, what happened? Like, who is this guy? And luckily afterwards, it wasn't anything serious, but like I was scared to death. Like, oh, they're all coming for me now. Like, why did you not let this guy do it? And it's like, I tried. You know, you call guys so many times. Like, what else am I supposed to do?
I'd like to thank you for omitting my name in that story. In my defense, I thought it worked, man.
I thought I could fix it.
I thought I could fix it, man. Like, my laptop overheated the other day, and I know that liquid cooling is a thing in the computer world.
Yes, it is.
So I poured some water all over it, and now it won't turn back on. Did I not use enough water to cool it?
Did you put it inside an actual cooler?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I
try it next time. Do that next time inside a cooler.
Maybe if I put it in the freezer?
Yeah,
like filled in water in the freezer like in a tray?
Yeah.
Is that what happens when my computer freezes?
Yep. That is exactly what happens.
And then I'm probably going to need you to download some RAM for me.
Yeah, that's no problem. What size are we looking for?
Can I get at least 2 RAMs?
2 RAMs?
2 RAMs, plee.
Are we going 8, 16 gig? What are we doing?
I prefer like whatever those bits are.
Do you want to convert that to a floppy disk?
Maybe. Can I get an 8-track?
Yeah, we can get an 8-track.
I feel like 8-tracks are going to make it big again.
We can do that for you.
By the way, RIP floppy disks.
Oh my god.
I love how they turn those into the save button.
Right?
Yeah. It's like
iconic.
A small iconic throwback.
It's a little throwback to when you had to carry those around in elementary school for projects and stuff.
Yeah.
And you would pull the little thing back and it would slide and make a little noise. Completely ruin your project and be like, what happened to my Word document?
I miss the paperclip in Microsoft Office that would come up.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That was so helpful.
Yeah, so many good tips.
Yeah.
That dude would pop up for anything. He'd be like, I see you're writing a ransom letter. If you use more threatening language here, and here, you'll get more money from the family.
This is how you should do it. Here's a template we found online.
Here's a template. Do you have any newspaper clippings? We can add them here, and here. Which, why, if you were making a ransom letter, would you do a collage of newspaper clippings to write it? It seems like you would just find more, like just one newspaper, not like a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Well, I never understood that trope in Hollywood.
I don't know. It's kind of cryptic. There's no handwriting to it. It's a little like,
Feels like you just go to a library or something, or get someone else to write it for you. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But anyway, we've been stuck on this for too long. So let's go to some listener mail. Y'all want some listener mail? We didn't get any questions this week, except for boys. How are you? I guess that counts as a question. Are we good?
We good.
We Gucci.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Nick, are you doing okay?
I'm doing well.
Emotionally?
I don't know now.
You want to talk? But anyway, congrats on your social media presence. Oh, by the way, we have a Facebook now.
Yes.
Wow.
Please find us on Facebook, Punch the Clock Podcast.
Yeah. It's got at least 1 follower. It's not me. I don't follow it, but
we're going to double it.
We're going to double it with at least 2. But anyway, congrats on your social media presence. I can't talk today. It's about time. Love the show, and the Redneck Bloody Mary is hilarious. I've been talking about that since the episode aired. Just wanted to show you guys some love, but also I wanted to ask, what's up with Justin's obsession with Will Arnett? I mean, come on, at least pick a respectable man crush like Bradley Cooper. It's true, man. I don't get it. We really do need to have a discussion about Will Arnett one day. If we could get Will Arnett on this podcast, that'd be a great day for me.
Amazing if we could.
That would be for you. I'd be like, Justin would be over here like, thank you for being here. We wish you all the best success. And I'd be like, hey, thanks for being here, Will Arnett. I wish you nothing but no success. The exact opposite. Do you ever get that?
Why are you here?
Stop coming on here. But anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Keep up what you're doing. Truly yours from Staten Island. Nice. So thank you, listener.
Thanks, listener.
Never write again. Just threaten those.
I will find your IP address.
Whoa, that's threatening.
I think I might reach out to Will Arnett and see if we can get him on the show.
If you manage to get Will Arnett on our podcast, that'd be hilarious.
That would be. I mean, you guys are familiar with Will Arnett, right?
Absolutely not.
No?
I've heard the name.
Arrested Development, right?
Arrested Development, the voice of GMC trucks. I'm sure you've seen probably dozens of Reese's commercials over the past couple weeks for Halloween. He's the voice for Reese's. He's got his podcast Smartless, which I'm a big fan of. What else? He was in Brother Solomon back in the early 2000s. Have you guys seen that?
I have not.
No, that's pretty funny.
I don't think I have. Nope, I haven't heard. Was he the dude who came to Richmond for filming for some reason? And he was a recovering alcoholic, and us here in Richmond managed to break him within a week and send him back into rehab.
Really?
It was some celebrity came to Richmond, and they were a recovering alcoholic, and those of us in Richmond partied so hard that we sent them back to rehab, which is not a good move. When was this? It was like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Will Arnett, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Think so.
Anyway, if you're a recovering alcoholic, come to Richmond.
We'll fix you up.
You will no longer be recovered.
Anyway, shout out to Will. Will, we would love to get you on the show if you're listening.
Well,
and I'm going to reach out to your people and have your people talk to our people.
Hey, you want to get on a podcast that has less than 100 listeners per episode? Because we got you.
We got you covered.
But since we didn't have any listener mail questions, I went to the subreddit Are Insane People of Quora again to get some insane questions. In a segment that we call Insane People of Quora Cowards something cowards.
Quora cowards.
Quora cowards? That sounds good.
That's a good name.
Whom Quora.
Like, we came up with this last time, I never landed on a segment name, and for whatever reason, we put coward in every single one of our segment names now.
It's just our identity. Because we don't respect our listeners.
We don't. They're all cowards.
Except our guests.
We really don't respect Olive Garden. Add that to the list of things we don't respect. Whoever's running the Wikipedia page, add yourself, too. Thanks for doing that, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to ask a couple questions. These are all real questions people submitted on Quora. They're all insane. And I figure we just try to solve as many of them as we could.
Okay.
Okay, here's the first one. Why are all past presidents all wrinkly and ugly? Why are all past presidents wrinkly and ugly? all the past presidents of the United States. Why are they all wrinkly and ugly?
What's the expectation?
Yeah.
Young and beautiful. I mean,
just like
why are there no supermodel president?
Abe Lincoln, you should have got Botox.
Well, let's rank with presidents we think should have gotten Botox. I'm going Martin Van Buren. Definitely should have gotten some Botox. That was a deep pool for a president there.
Gosh. I don't
George
know
Washington could definitely have.
Look, I don't know if Botox would have done it for these guys.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like a lot of these people who looked like old 80-year-old men by our standards were probably like in their 40s and 50s when they were like president.
True.
I feel like people aged way worse back then.
I feel like Roosevelt would have looked nice.
You think Roosevelt would look nice with some
I think he would have. You ever seen that image of him like laughing?
Yeah.
Imagine that with Botox.
A little bit about that might be nice.
Yeah.
That'd make him a little bit prettier.
It would.
JFK. JFK was actually kind of a young president, wasn't he?
Yeah.
A little bit of Botox, bring him back to his prime.
Potentially.
I don't even know if he needed it.
I don't think he needed it either.
Yeah.
He was decent.
But look, if he had it, I think the bullet would have bounced off.
That's quite the conspiracy.
Yeah.
I think so. I agree with you. I think he could use some Botox.
Yeah.
A little bit of Botox.
Yeah. The whole world would have been changed from that moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Jimmy Carter some Botox.
Yeah.
He's 90 years old. He deserves it.
Maybe
he's 92.
It's going to be a lot.
That's going to be a little bit of Botox. Hey, he's done a lot of good things after his presidency.
That's true. Did Trump already have Botox?
Probably.
I think that'd be the only one, yeah.
If there's a president that's had Botox, I think
Absolutely.
I mean, I know he tans. I'm giving it to George Washington.
Okay.
I've seen the paintings of him, a little wrinkly, could use it.
Yeah.
Anybody else stand out to y'all?
Just the stories
What
of
about Ben Franklin?
Well, he wasn't a president. So no Botox for Ben Franklin.
That's right.
You guys
I was thinking of currency.
Do you think of Taft? Do you know the stories about him?
Oh, yeah, in the bathtub?
Yeah. I wonder.
Let's give him some Botox.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, what's the worst? No more Botox for our presidents, though.
True.
That's our cutoff. We only had 12.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm doubling down on Kennedy, though.
Kennedy, let's go with Kennedy. Kennedy gets Botox. That wasn't the question that we were supposed to answer, but whatever. We got there. The rest of those are too bad for me to even consider reading them out loud. No, you gotta realize when I wade through like this subreddit of insane people Quora, there are a lot of terrible questions in there, like just messed up things, and I refuse to read them. Like it's so bad, even I won't read them out loud.
Thank you.
So here's our next question. What would happen if I broke into the gorilla enclosure at the zoo and started beating the alpha male gorilla over the head with a metal baseball bat?
Clearly it shows you're the new alpha male.
Yeah, you're the new alpha. Congratulations to you and your gorilla troop.
Welcome.
Now you can take over the zoo.
Yeah, he has like a welcome spot there now. He can just come and visit. He's like, oh, here's the alpha cage.
Well, I don't think you can leave the cage. You're the new alpha gorilla.
I mean, true, yeah. That's your new life now.
Just the first step in the plan. Become the alpha gorilla. Step 2, lead the troop. Now they respect you. Step 3, question mark. Step 4, profit.
You get a lot of coverage on that too.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're going to get on the news. You're going to be a meme for about 10 minutes.
That's true.
Local man breaks into the Florida gorilla enclosure and becomes new alpha male. This story at 10.
You just have this like crazy look, so that way it's like a meme that's reused forever.
You're just wearing the old gorilla as a hat.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Look, I think that he could then have his own t-shirt line in the gift shop. I mean, we're talking about new attractions.
Yeah.
I think it's time for a change.
Yeah.
You just come into the zoo and it's like, you see a bunch of gorillas and some kid's like, Mommy, what's that, man? Oh, that's Sam, the leader of the alpha gorilla troop. We don't like to talk about Sam.
Later goes in the gift shop, is like, oh, look, they have a plush of him.
It's just, he kind of looks like Tarzan. He's wearing the skin of the old gorilla.
He eats with the others. I mean,
they talk in hushed tones about Sam. Sam's down in the bomb. He's like, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I still have the bat.
Do you think he would lower his intelligence, though? If you were the alpha,
if you become the alpha gorilla, do you become dumber?
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? Like,
Yeah.
you lose your human intelligence?
Yeah, like your sanity.
Well, I mean, you've lost your insanity before you jumped into the gorilla enclosure, clearly.
Definitely lost prior to that.
So it is like basically a story of Tarzan, if you do it.
All I know is if you beat that gorilla, you will rule the world. There's no other question about it.
Yeah.
And you'll probably own a zoo, and realistically, you're probably getting sued. Yeah. Maybe some jail time. I don't know what the jail time for beating up the alpha gorilla at a zoo is, but I think it's at least 5 years.
That's got to be pretty harsh, yeah.
So do you
think... With a lot of criticism.
So do you think that Matt Damon bought a zoo to be the alpha male?
I think he did. Has anybody ever seen that movie?
No, God, no.
No, it didn't look good, did it?
No.
Very rarely do I ever see a trailer for a movie and I'm like, I don't want to watch that ever. I don't care if it's good.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like after it's like, okay. Man. What am I supposed to be entitled to watch?
Yeah. That's probably one of those, it's a heartwarming true story. And it's like, I don't care. I don't want to watch a heartwarming true story anymore. Show me something awful.
Clearly, Marshall's heart is already warmed because of his throwing up and blood pressure
from the blood pressure issues. Well, I'm fine now. I don't know what caused it then.
What do they call that? A callback?
Yeah, a callback joke. You see, Nick from IT, when you do comedy, sometimes you make a joke, and then later in your series, you call back to that joke, and we call that a callback.
Oh.
You know what's also funny is over-explaining things. Over-explaining things is when you just go into an in-depth detail about something that really didn't need any explanation at all. Now, an explanation is when you sit down and dissect something for what it really is. And that dissection can actually be when you go into a dead animal and look at its organs and stuff.
Are you done yet?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
So back to the dead animal.
Kind of weird they made us all do that in school as kids.
Right?
Did y'all get frogs or?
We did frogs.
Oh, frogs, yeah.
Did you have anything else? Like I had a teacher that did a shark.
We never had frogs. We had fetal pigs.
Ooh, wow. We did owl
They smell bad.
Did you get to take some of the meat home?
No, unfortunately. Oh, we did open it up, and one of the people in our group pointed with the knife and at the ribcage. He's like, "See that? That's the bacon right there." It's like, why are you telling us this?
You have experience?
It was weird. Well, we did do frogs.
You did do
frogs. I did both. I did fetal pigs and frogs. I went too deep on the frog, and I ended up like nicking a organ, and it just ruined my whole experiment. I think I got like a C on that. It's like, it's not my fault.
The frog's already dead.
Yeah.
Why do they make us do that, though?
I don't know what
That's
the
a good
purpose
question.
was. Did they want us just to cut into something?
They want to inspire future surgeons.
I guess.
and,
Maybe?
those who
Anatomy?
do autopsies.
I don't know.
I
I
guess.
never once in my life has cutting open a fetal pig
Inspire you.
helped me in any situation. I guess it's so you can see organs or something.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's the gorilla. We answered it. Okay.
I think I just gotta stop and ask a question. Marshall, why are you on Quora? Are you okay? Are you okay?
No, not really.
Okay.
Reddit is a dangerous place.
Reddit is a very dangerous place. I don't like it.
There's good stuff, and then you go into like the dark stuff of Reddit, and you regret everything.
I'm mostly there for the s'mores subreddit where,
S'mores.
yeah, I like s'mores.
They have a whole like.
There's a gluten-free subreddit. I mostly use it for food, if I'm being honest. But, I figured if we ever ran out of questions from our listeners like we did today, it'd be a good idea to have a backup. And there's some insane questions like, when is it okay to kill your child?
We gotta find like a different subreddit for questions.
Yeah.
Probably. But let's move on to the next one. Should I pour holy water on my foot because it feels like it's possessed?
Yeah,
Yeah, go for it.
go for it.
Honestly.
Go to your local church and just ask.
Just asks, yeah.
Put it in the fountain. Just like, oh, sorry.
You may not consider putting your foot in it, but maybe find a pitcher.
Ask permission first.
Yeah.
Well, they said get it poured over, so at least they're not like, trying to hop into the holy water.
They're respectful at least.
Yeah.
Dude, I guess. So maybe it'll help.
Go for it. I mean,
Yeah, go nuts.
I guess the question is, what do they believe it's possessed by?
That's a good point.
You
Just
know?
says possessed. I
Did
get
they, like, stub their toe or something? Or
get the priest for this one.
Yeah.
Get them to bless some water.
we got an
pour it on you.
exorcism.
All right, here's the next one. Could I call the cops on my neighbors? They have a newborn son who cries all the time. The baby disrupts my sleep. The crying is annoying and makes me angry. Can I call the cops on my neighbors?
Just all I think of is like babies in airports. But why would you?
I hate being on a plane when you have a crying baby. But
Yeah.
I can kind of understand the frustration.
Yeah, I could see
But
that.
you can't call the cops for a noise complaint on a baby.
Yeah.
It's not like you control it. Yeah.
The cops are not going to show up and arrest the baby. And if they did, someone get a film of that would be hilarious.
You got to blame the parents.
They're like special size cuffs for
Well,
babies.
I feel like babies just cry for no reason, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I can't roll over. Someone please roll me over.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I think
I'm new to this world, and that was nice, but now it's scary.
I think what this neighbor should do is be a part of the solution. So, if they're new parents or something, maybe go offer a hand and see what their challenges are. Obviously, their challenge is their child not sleeping at night. So see if you can help them out.
Well, he seems angry, so I don't know if we want him to get in contact with me.
Listener, here's not listener, Quora user. Here's my solution: cry louder than the baby. Every time the baby loud, you just need to assert dominance
in the
over this
room.
baby.
That's right.
That's the true way of going about this.
Or just buy a noise machine.
Call the cops. See what happens. If you want to go the chaotic route, I feel like they would hang up on you.
Pull the Karen.
Be like, I can't do anything. This baby has colic. I mean, just imagine being in that mindset where you're like, I'm so upset. I'm calling the cops on this baby. Now I want y'all to imagine also the cops coming by and putting little tiny handcuffs on the baby.
Think about the 911 dispatcher. 911, what's your emergency? There's a baby crying next door. Okay, sir, man.
Is it in trouble?
Everything okay?
No, it's loud.
It's loud. I can't sleep.
However, actually, well, let's think about this for a moment. This person may have a point. Maybe the baby's crying because they're in danger.
Oh.
And calling the cops
that's if it's
would
neglect.
actually could help resolve the problem.
That's a good point.
Could be neglect.
Yeah.
We didn't
Bad parents.
think about the bad parents angle in this question.
We just assumed they were great.
We assumed they were great parents.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Just like we assume Justin's a great parent.
I mean, that's a good assumption.
It's a pretty good assumption.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to my new segment, Parenting Advice with Marshall. So, when your kids are going to get to a certain age, they're teenagers, and they're going to be curious about drinking. Make sure you stock the fridge with nice IPAs.
Yeah. Don't
Let them go for anything terrible like a PBR or anything. You want their first time to be something delectable. No one wants a kid who runs around drinking PBR.
That's
Make
true.
sure your kids become beer snobs. And this has been Parenting Advice with Marshall.
Thank you for having graced us with that.
You're welcome.
We gotta get you like jingles.
It should give me jingles. All right. Well, let's move on to our next question. Forgot this one. Am I weird that I find Jesus Christ handsome?
I mean,
No.
not really. I mean,
Whatever.
it's like Chris Hemsworth kind of. The long hair, the beard.
Oh, so we found your man crush.
Yeah. The one viewer at home, we you now know my secret. Don't change my wallpaper to Chris Hemsworth.
No, I think core user, you just like long-haired men. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Hey, if it works, it works.
It works. Moving on to the next one. Forgot about this one. Why does my brother like to go on violent outbursts when I drink his water? I tell him to stop, but then he takes out his pocket knife and shouts out, "Giddy, giddy, goo," and tries to stab me. I don't know.
Again, you gotta blame the parents.
Yeah. Not letting him have water. It's a water.
I blame this person for stealing the water repeatedly. Like, after the first time,
Now
you
they're
should
asking
stop.
Yeah.
What's so special about his water? Is it like Propel or something?
It's just apparently plain water.
That interesting.
Clearly,
Look.
it's not smart water.
Yeah.
Or life water.
Yeah.
Hydration's important, so I understand why the brother is trying to stab him. Someone's trying to steal your water.
Yeah. That's important.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated. Hey, listeners out there, this is not a joke. Make sure you stay hydrated. Drink whenever you're thirsty.
Yeah.
The 8 cups of water a day thing is a myth. Just drink whenever you feel naturally thirsty. Your body already has a programmed switch in you that lets you know.
Feel free to go wherever you go and just do water shots with everybody.
Just do water shots.
Exactly.
Buy a round of water for everybody. And go to places that don't charge you for water. If you're in a bar and they charge you for water, you're not in a good establishment.
Honestly.
And that's been water advice with Marshall. Here's another one. If pee wasn't red, what color would it be?
Wait, so they're saying that it is red?
It is red.
If it had to be another color, it'd be green.
Green.
Easily.
Personally, I would love it to be sparkling and rainbowed.
Hey.
That'd be just pleasant.
Yeah. It's like, wow.
I think blue would be pretty cool.
Blue would be cool.
Are we talking like a dark shade of blue or like a light
Like
color?
like a
Maybe a nice turquoise.
turquoise.
Core user, please go to a doctor.
Yep.
I think I have one more.
One more Quora.
Let's go.
Was it, what was it? Or maybe that was it. Nope, that was the last one.
That was
wow,
it. Last
okay.
Quora.
So now that we've gone through all those questions, we should go to today's sponsors.
Okay.
Thanks, sponsors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But
Sponsors.
yeah, y'all want to get to Debate Me Coward?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Let's do it. All right, let's go to Debate Me Coward. So, you haven't listened to this podcast before, have you?
I listened to one episode.
Did we do a Debate Me Coward in that episode?
I don't think so.
Which one?
Okay.
Which one did you listen to?
The one with Diana, there was like
TikTok?
you talked about like a ghost.
Oh, yeah,
First.
that was TikToks and ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember what we do in any of these things.
Yeah.
They're not worth listening to. Don't worry. Listeners, hey, don't turn this off and go listen to something else. There's so many better podcasts you
Yeah.
could be listening to.
You can turn it off now because we've already gone through the sponsors. We've already gotten paid.
Yeah, now
for
that
this,
you've
and
listened
so-
to the sponsor, just feel
Yeah.
free to leave.
Yeah, just go to any of the recommendations.
Literally any podcast is probably better than this one. Let's just name a couple that are better. Smartless, My Brother, and Me.
Lights, camera, barstool.
Welcome to Night Vale, if you want some horror stuff.
Crime Junkies.
Crime Junkies, Scaredy Boys, horror podcast. Thumb Cramps, video game podcast.
Parks and Recreation.
Ooh.
Or Parks and Recollection, rather.
The Besties, another video game podcast.
Anything with Alex Jones.
You think of Jesus Christ? Maybe not. In the short amount of time we've had you on the show, you've managed to get us canceled 3 times. But anyway, what was our debate topic again?
What sport should be removed from existence?
Oh, that's right. So here's how the game works. Essentially, we all pick in this case, pick a sport.
Mm-hmm.
We present why we think it should be removed from existence. And then at the end, we're all going to vote. You can't vote for your own.
Okay, that's fair.
So you got to vote for someone else. So since you are our guest, would you like to go first?
I will. So I thought about this one. I have 2 answers. One's reality, and the other is like personally. So like I would say reality, probably football. As much as I love it, it's literally just death. You just go until your brain starts hurting, and then all of a sudden you found out that you have severe, like, I forget the word. Do you know the word for it?
Concussions?
Well, it's not concussion, but like they have a special word for
Brain
it.
hemorrhage?
Yes. The Will Smith movie.
Yes, thank you.
Alopecia?
CID or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And usually you just go crazy.
Yeah, they said Aaron Hernandez had that too, right?
Yep. Aaron Hernandez, Junior Seau.
Yeah.
Just went crazy.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Is there any other reasons that aren't bummers why you want to get rid of it?
I mean, I love it personally, but it's just like, it's weird if you think about it. Like, say somebody gets hurt, everybody's like, and as soon as he gets carted off the field, whatever, you don't know how long it's going to take for him to get back, whatever, and you just already, like, just forget about him.
Yeah, it's like, anyway, back to the game.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Kind of interesting, they'll put people back in who are still hurt in recovery, too. It's like, why are you trying to play this player who's got, like, a bad hamstring or something, or, like, a tear? It's like, stop.
You gotta get those fantasy points.
Wait till they get back.
I bet it on this game.
It's the fantasy football. DraftKings has my money.
Yeah. They own my second mortgage.
Yeah, I played fantasy football only once in my life, and it was with people in our office. And
did you like it?
I didn't know what was going on because I never played and I never bothered to look. And when they did the draft or whatever, I didn't show up for it.
So you just got auto-picked?
I got auto-drafted, and I want y'all to know I came in third place.
That's telling you auto-draft is the way to go.
Did you, like, change your lineup throughout the season at all, or no?
I did some things. All I did was just start people who I saw had, so they always have these projected points, like, we think they're going to do this. And I'm like, that doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
That's not realistic. So I just started looking at everybody's past points that they've been scoring. I just did that.
That's smart.
I was like, this is the record. Apparently they're doing okay. I'll just start those people.
It'd be really impressive if you had it where, like, you didn't even change the ones that had, like, bye weeks. You just kept them in there and you still somehow won.
Somehow I had 4 punters.
What?
I don't think you're supposed to.
No.
You guys that do the fancy stuff can tell me, but no, I had 4 punters at one point. I think I messed up. I still came in third.
4 punters?
I don't know how I did it.
What site did you go?
I don't know.
It should not have allowed you.
I
It's
didn't.
actually not so bad, though. I mean, you can rack up some good points with punters.
That's true.
I came in third, so I want everybody who came below me to know. I had no idea what I was doing. I did not draft anybody, and I just let them sit, and I beat you.
Nice. I guess the official term is place kicker.
Yeah.
I don't think that was what it was. Maybe field goal kickers or something?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I could not have told you any of the people who I had on my team were. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I guess they'll be fine.
They did great.
Yeah, I'm going to be 100% honest. I think fantasy football is just all dumb luck.
It kind of, basically is. There's some skill, but very
I
little.
beg to disagree because I used none and I came in third.
I mean, you can put a whole lot of time, effort, and energy into the draft, but like I did an auto draft this year, and I'm in 4th place right now for what was this past week? Week 6 or 7. So I think I'm 5-2 right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
We should get rid of football just so I don't have to listen to people talk about fantasy football anymore.
That or when they come in like on Monday, just you hear somebody like talk about the game of some sort, and you're just like, oh yeah, I missed that.
I totally missed it. See that ludicrous display last night?
Yeah, just that one-hand grab. Nope.
I'm not going to lie. There have been certain times in the office where people talk about sports games with me, and I never watched the game, had no interest in the game, and I don't know what teams they're talking about, but I still managed to get through the conversation, act like I actually did.
Yeah, you just nod like, yeah.
I'll just be like, hey, did you see that play, though? And he's like, oh, yeah, when blah, blah, blah did that. I'm like, yeah. Insane, right?
I thought they would have thrown a flag on that play.
Clearly pass interference.
I fake a lot of this. Like, I have not watched a sports game in like 3 years. Any sport, if I'm being honest.
Dang.
And I've gone through these conversations.
Not even like the Super Bowl or anything?
No, well, I've watched the
It's our podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, we interview a coworker. So would you like to be interviewed sometime?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put you on the list.
Anything?
Anything you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Monday.
All right. We got a future guest here.
Future guest.
We had some drive-by commentary.
Drive back commentary. That's all right. I'll edit that. That's future Marshall's problem. Or I won't. I don't know. Let's see. If
see.
you think I really care about the show being good audio
Watch
quality,
me.
watch me do it. But no, yeah, football's a good pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin, would you
American
like?
football. Right?
Yeah,
American football.
Not that I need to clarify that because we just spent the past 8 minutes talking
Talk about fantasy football.
American football, but
Well, we could have been talking about fantasy football and been like soccer. I'm sure it exists. I know there's fantasy baseball for some reason. That seems
There's that
worse.
fantasy
seems like a lot of
basketball.
work.
Like,
Those all seem worse. Why?
I think baseball would be the worst. That's 162 games.
When I was
You
in
gotta
high
sit there.
school, a kid, I made fun of a kid. Like, I knew this guy, he was a friend, and he was talking about fantasy football. I was like, dude, I could not care less. He's like, it's super serious, though, man. You don't get it. It's really important. I'm like, yeah, that's why fantasy is in the first word of the name, right, bud? Never saw a guy get angrier at me, but
that's awesome.
yeah, he took fantasy football way too seriously.
Does he take D&D seriously then?
I don't know. I haven't talked to
fancy.
this kid since like high school.
Oh,
I haven't talked to anybody I knew in high school since.
wow.
Anyway, Justin, I've talked too much. You go ahead.
So, I actually had to look up the definition of sport. Not that I
Why?
did not know, but
I
just
don't
wanted
like where it's going
I
already.
already know this goes.
This
I
is
just
not
wanted
well.
to just, form my argument. I won't recite the definition. I'll keep that to myself. However, my submission to this debate is that cycling should be dropped
Aye.
off from existence. And I know you're a passionate mountain biker. I'm talking about cycling like
Road biking?
road biking.
Oh,
because
okay.
you know what? Biking, and I hope you don't take any offense to this.
Oh, none taken.
I mean, biking
I
in
don't
terms
really-
of sport,
I
where
don't-
you're competing, like competition biking, right?
Mhm.
Is mountain biking really competition?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of races and trick competitions.
Okay.
Like, of the two, the harder to do is mountain biking.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
road biking, you got me 100%. I'm like, yeah, no, that's boring.
Yeah.
Mountain biking, I had to go over rocks and mountains and stuff.
Okay.
And it's televised too, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with more road cycling.
Road cycling, road biking.
Road biking. I mean, basically, it's just transportation.
Yeah.
I mean, for mountain biking, though, like, there have been points in the trail where it's like, I'm on the trail, I'm in the middle of the trail, okay, there's a 3-foot drop, and I have to make it to the other side.
Oh, because that takes skill, right? So, like,
Yeah. Or jumps, and it's
sport.
like, I got to jump over this creek real fast if I want to get through this trail.
Yeah, right.
a sport is an activity involving physical exertion
Just told us you weren't going to say this.
and skill.
You
Right. I just want to solidify my argument here. So physical exertion, check. But skill, road cycling, I don't know how much skill that actually takes. Now, mountain biking, I fully support. That takes some skill because you might have to, jump obstacles and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Oh, frequently.
But there's just no skill, so it doesn't qualify for the definition of sport. So I think it
Is
should,
stamina a skill? Like having good stamina?
that's physical exertion.
Okay.
That's metering your physical exertion.
I guess
Okay.
you got to know how to ride a bike. There are some people out there who
Yeah,
don't
that
know how
is-
to ride a bike.
that is
a
true.
skill. I mean, that's a fair argument.
That's fair.
I'm saying road cycling. Sorry, I had to break out the definition just to make my argument. But
Okay.
also show my respect for Marshall's passion for mountain biking.
I do love me some mountain biking. You put me in the woods on a bike, I'm like, yeah, this is nice. Put me on the road with a bike, I'm like, this is scary. People keep flipping me off.
Everybody's honking at me.
Yeah, dude, people get angry at people biking on the road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
Straight up aggressive.
It makes sense
Aggressive.
to be mad when there's a sidewalk. Like I can see the argument of like, okay, maybe like
Yeah, but they'll give you they give you a ticket for riding on the sidewalk on a bike.
really.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have them on sidewalks. You're supposed to have them in the road.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
And like that'd be more safer for the biker because they don't have to worry about like, oh, cars come real close to hit me or they don't see you.
But yeah, so for my sport, I am totally not stalling for time here. I totally picked one. I'm going with football. International football, not American football.
Oh.
I'm going with soccer.
Oh, okay.
And my purpose being, I just wanted to make the most amount of people mad that I could. And since it's the
Yeah.
most
Our
international
viewers.
Jeez.
all 3% of our international viewers should be really upset right now because it's the most played sport in the world, so I'm getting rid of it.
Golly.
I used to play for like 12 years.
I also wanted to cripple as many economies as I could because I know FIFA is a pretty big deal in some countries.
Oh yes. No, that is definitely a big
Now,
deal.
what is it about football
Nothing. I just wanted to screw with people in this case. That's why I don't want it to exist.
Not injuries, anything like acting.
It's pretty. Well, I mean, all the injury stuff is pretty annoying. I just find it boring to watch.
Have you watched like a soccer game where like an international one where they just like act
fake
like they die
injuries every 10 seconds?
Yes.
I saw one where a guy pretended to be injured, and the guy picked him up off the ground and threw him up onto his legs, and he walked away. And they threw a flag. I'm like, well, clearly that guy wasn't injured.
So
yeah, that's my pick.
You do realize the predicament this has put me in come time to vote, right?
Yeah, I mean, just call his American football. You can call mine OG football if you want.
I know, but I still got to vote.
That's tough.
Well, that's my argument, but let's get to voting. Nick from IT, you can be our first vote. You can either have football or road cycling.
That's international football.
Original football, OG football.
I understand like the acting stuff. That is very annoying, but
it's also boring to watch. I've never seen a sport where you could just get 0-0 and everybody's cool with it.
Have you ever like played soccer like in a rec league or anything?
I refuse.
Okay. Like
No respect.
Literally, there's like a huge difference from like watching like clubs play and then rec league. Rec is just a kid kicking the balls and they're just trying everything. Like they don't care about how pretty it looks.
Exactly.
International, it's like this is so boring. They're just passing around each other, just waiting for somebody to like actually get a breakthrough or whatever. It's pretty boring.
It's pretty boring.
I will agree. But I have to go road cycling.
Road cycling?
All right.
If I was forced to like watch that over international football, I would probably lose my.
I loved how when that whole doping scandal came out, they're like, if we were to give a medal to the person who didn't dope and came, we'd have to give it to the 23rd place person.
Yeah.
So many people were using it.
Oh my god, I remember that.
It was really bad. Yeah, no, it was awful.
That's
but
awful.
Justin, you go ahead and vote.
Ooh, wow, this is a tough one. So American football or international football? Sheesh. I mean, I would say lately I've seen some college soccer, and I've actually found it pretty entertaining.
Okay.
So, man, and because I'm really trying to make an effort to get Will Arnett on the show, he's a huge soccer fan. So I'm going to have to vote American football on this one.
Jesus. Well, I have no hope of winning now. I'm trying to figure out which one would make more people mad, football or cycling. What do you think's more watched?
Definitely
Probably
football.
It's on.
Well, I mean like around the
Thursday.
world, though. Like, what do you think would be?
Oh yeah,
more-
definitely. Well, they do have London now football, for NFL, but like I don't know if a lot of people.
I feel like. Do you think a lot of people will watch cycling outside the U.S.?
I
Do you
don't
think
know.
the French watch it? They have the Tour de France.
That's
They
true.
probably watch that, yeah.
That's true.
You know, my favorite part about the Tour de France is every year mountain bikers will get together, and there's always like one part of the thing that's like in the mountains. And every year a mountain biker will go, and there's like this good 20-foot drop, and they'll ride off the drop and jump the whole race over them
Yeah,
That's
on a
awesome.
mountain bike just to assert dominance.
if you haven't picked up on it, Marshall enjoys asserting his dominance.
Yeah, assert dominance over
that's
everybody.
the theme today.
Asserting your dominance.
Is there a magic
Yeah,
pill for
I
that?
think I'll go with American football for this one.
All right. CTE. That's what it's called. CTE.
That's right. Yep.
So Nick,
Can't
that makes
remember what
you
it stands for.
our winner.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
That was,
Well done.
Would
always enjoy when a
you
guest
like
wins.
to? Would you like to give a victory speech?
yes. I want to thank my mom, who's not going to listen to this. You raised me to play soccer for so many years, drove me all those practices, just me never become a pro. Waste all that money.
And for that, we thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
But that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thank you, Nick, so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Anything you want to shout out?
Where can we find you on social media?
Do you want to be found?
Yes, so we have a whole Facebook page. It's called Boogle. It is Boogle is the next search engine. It is Google and Bing combined.
That sounds awful.
It is awful. We have nobody use it yet.
All right, Boogle.
Boogle. Shout out to Boogle.
Shout out to Boogle.
Does that wrap it up?
Yeah, I think that wraps it up.
Nice.
I've been your host, Marshall.
And I'm Justin.
And you can find us on Spotify, Apple as Punch the Clock. If you want to send in your listener questions, you can send them into punchtheclocks with an S at gmail.com. That's punchtheclocks at gmail.com. We now have a Facebook page. Punch the Clocks podcast. You made me laugh in the middle of that. Punch the Clocks podcast on Facebook.
Like, follow, share.
Yep.
And until next Friday, we'll see you.
Bye, guys.
Guys, take care.